Jump, flex your butt as hard as you can, get that weight into the barbell, and then drop under it to catch. Hey, it's Cameron with the Atlas Strength Shop, and we are back with another video. I'm here with Coach Matt, and today we are going to go over how to properly clean and press an axle. That way, if you have this coming up in a competition, you are going to be prepared. You ready to get started?
Let's go.
All right, let's get started with the video. All right, so we got the axle set up, and Coach Matt is ready to demonstrate a axle clean and press. Now, we're going to cover the clean first because there's two main ways you're going to see this barbell clean. If it's a really light barbell in comp, you're just going to see a traditional power clean. So you can go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. Grab the bar like you would a deadlift. You're going to drive your hips into it, and you're going to try to get under as much as possible. Go ahead and put the bar down. The biggest thing to remember is triple extension. So when you drive and you come up onto your toes, jump, flex your butt as hard as you can, get that weight into the barbell, and then drop under it to catch it. You're not going to see that very often unless it's like an axle for reps, because then the weight is generally light enough that the athletes can just power clean. Why would you want to power clean? Well, it's quicker. And strongman is a sport that does value speed. So the quicker you can get this to your rack, the more reps you're going to have the opportunity to press. And those 1 or 2 reps, there's 1 or 2 seconds saved, could mean the difference between first and 5th place. You want to get higher than 5th place generally. So the other way you're going to see this, it's like this collar came undone. The other way you're going to see this clean is something called a continental clean. Let's hold up on the belt first. That way we can kind of show what happens whenever you don't have a belt on.
All right.
So when you go to do a continental clean and you get it to the stomach, everything right here is soft and squishy, or you can go ahead and put it down. It's either soft and squishy because you've had to go up a weight class, or it is the opposite of soft and squishy, and it is a hard bed of rocks. Either way, there's no shelf for this to sit on. So the way we fix that is we grab a belt. Matt's going to grab his belt, he's going to tighten it up, and what that's going to do is it's going to pinch some fat and some skin above that, and it's going to make him a good shelf to keep this on. So while he's putting that on, let's talk about why you would want to do a continental clean. So the axle was the barbell before the modern day barbell was invented. The modern day barbell being a barbell with a thin shaft, 2-inch loading sleeves, and rotating sleeves. So the reason why you're able to clean things like they do in the Olympics where you drop under the weight is because of those rotating sleeves. You're not spinning that weight around. You're just rotating the bar, and that weight's free spin on the end of the bar. With something like an axle, it doesn't work that way. These sleeves don't rotate. It is all one piece. So when you turn that weight over, you have to turn the entire weight over that is on the barbell, especially if it's a fixed implement, or if they take some of the Ivanko locking collars or just any of the powerlifting locking collars, put them together and put lateral pressure, you can turn something with bumper plates into an implement that feels fixed. So in order to keep that from happening, we do a continental clean. So the way that typically starts, it typically starts with a mixed grip. And it's going to be 3 different pops. First pop is going to be to that belly shelf you made. So notice it made a little shelf. Second pop, for most people, is when they flip the hand over. So Matt,
I already did it.
Yeah, Matt flips the hand over during that initial pop, which if you have the coordination to do that, great. It just saves you time. Second pop, you're going to pop up to the rack position. And it's just that easy. So there's another way to do that, and we're going to see if Matt can replicate, because I don't think he's ever done it in a competition before or in training. If not, I'll take over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and put it down. Can you mimic the one that the bigger guys do, where they get it here and they kind of roll it under?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is a technique you typically see bigger guys do because they have the leverages to make it happen. So he pops us, he turns the hand over right there, and then you kind of roll it up your body and get under it that way. So it works for some people, but for most people, most normal size humans that want to compete in strongman, that first technique with the multiple pops is the way to go. Let's trade places. I'm just going to demonstrate the version I use because I'm not coordinated enough to pop in the air. So when I do it, I've got a mixed grip. I pop up to the belly, pop again, and then I get it to the rack position. It takes a little bit longer, but I personally feel more stable doing it that way, so that's the way I do it. Let's get to the pressing. Just to save some energy from Matt, we're going to stick to just the power clean for the rest of this, because you've already seen the Continental. All right, so let's get into the rack position. So the first most obvious way is to just strict press this. If it's a lightweight, that's going to be really, really fast and you can get that done. Second way is going to be a push press. Notice he's driving his knees outwards, they're not directly forward. This enables him to to let the bar go straight up rather than out. Next way is going to be a push jerk. So he dips, drops under. That's the way I personally use. I find it's the most stable and I get the most weight. And finally, we have the split jerk. This one's a little bit more complicated. One of his legs is going to go forward, the other one's going to drop back. You can get under the weight really well with this one. Just like that. All right, you go ahead and put the weight down. With the two jerks, it is a snappy movement. It helps to be explosive with those. So if you aren't explosive, get explosive. You can do that with things like sprints, heavy kettlebell swings, or just practicing those Olympic lifts. What you see most often is going to be the push press and the push jerk in an actual competition, but the split jerk's becoming more and more popular with the axle. Not so much with the log, but with the axle, the weight's a lot more centered, so you can control its center of gravity much, much easier. Anything to add?
Yeah, so when we talk about cleans and presses, specifically with the axle or barbell, it could be a very complicated movement for a lot of people. But what you can do is you can break it down into complexes. So you can start off and do a couple of reps where you just deadlift it. Okay, and then you can practice just the hip extension, like so, and then the press. You can break it down and do step by step in your training, and then once you master every step, put it all together.
That's obviously something you should do during your warm-ups. When you try to break it down like that, it's not going to work with a heavier weight just because you need that momentum. But when you're warming up, you're learning the movement, it's definitely a good way to go. So that's it for the video. If you liked it, then please like it and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And what I'd like you to do is go ahead and screenshot this and share us to your Instagram story. If you do and you tag us, I'm going to send you a promo code to go for 10% off any of our apparel. If you're in the Baton Rouge area, I'd love to meet you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let's set it up, make it happen. If you're not in the Baton Rouge area and you still like to support us, best thing to do is head to our website, check out our awesome apparel options. I like them. I designed them all ourselves. Hope you like them too. You can also check out our programming options there as well. And soon, we'll even be on Train Heroic. So, till next time, keep that Titan.
See ya.